Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Thursday to y'all. We are here in Railroader, and today we are checking out something special. I'm here with Mr. C. Sam of WNCRR, Rex, and MR Flanagan. And C. Sam, I think you should be the one to introduce this. What the heck are we looking at?
Well, howdy, folks. We're simulcasting on the WNCRR. I'm really sorry about that little goof with the title card there. I got a little bit of fat finger syndrome. But hello, everybody over on the AngryRagtimer channel. Never done a simulcast before, so hopefully this doesn't fall apart. Angry, what you've got here is a prime example of engineering gone absolutely off the rails, no pun intended. So what this is the Chesapeake and Ohio's most underrated of its big superpower locomotives. This is the Chesapeake and Ohio T-1. This is a 210-4, and it was a class of locomotives that was built by the C&O to operate heavy coal trains from Russell, Kentucky to Toledo, Ohio. These engines were flatland monsters. They, in their prime, were tasked with pulling freight trains, or coal trains, excuse me, of in excess of 10,000 tons. And they could do it at 30 to 40 miles an hour. These are not little engines. These are not rinky-dinky little toys. This is the real deal. To give you a little bit of a history lesson, I don't want to bore your viewers half to death, but Lima Superpower started in the 1930s when the engineers over at Lima had an idea and a concept that was given to them by a guy named William E. Woodard. He had come from Baldwin and Alco, and he had a concept for locomotive design that was a little bit different. He looked at a locomotive as a tool to make money, not just a thing to move a lot of weight. And his whole concept was that a locomotive that could move more freight over the railroad more efficiently by either moving more of it, going faster, or both would benefit not only the railroad, but it would benefit the company, it would benefit everybody, because your overall system performance would improve because everything's moving faster. They began with the Berkshire, the A1, the original. It came out in 1925, and 5 years later, this monster was the result. The Texas and Pacific ordered the first two 10-4s the same year the A1 came out. And in the intervening time, there were a lot of technological innovations that came to be, and this is the result. Now, I'm sure quite a few people have seen the video we put out yesterday, and it was great, or day before yesterday, but there's a lot to that story that did not get told. And if you really want to read about it, there's a book called American Steam Locomotive Development, 1880 to 1960. That really puts the whole story into perspective, and it's definitely worth a read.
Yes,
but
go check.
In terms of the mod, this mod was made by R.C. Rockin, stem to stern, top to bottom. R.C. Rockin and I had a conversation a little bit before the H6 came out, and I said, you know, we're really having a problem over on the WNCRR server because we can't put any more cars on the railroad. We have to have a lot of cars to keep a lot of players busy. But what we don't have is a good solution for motive power, because articulated support's not really a good thing. It's not going to work right. And we need something that can move the tonnage. We need something that can take the place of 2 or even 3 of the smaller locomotives, particularly on the east end of the map. Red Marble notwithstanding. This thing's a little too fat for Red Marble anyway. But we went down the Rolodex of big locomotives, and he said, what about a T1? And I said, I like T1s. I have a model of a T1. So this was it. I commissioned him to build it, and here we are months later, and it's ready to go.
That's awesome.
And I'm so tired.
Well, excellent. Yeah, I mean, this is one honking locomotive. For me, who's very words. I literally just got home from work like 10 minutes ago, so uninitiated.
Yes, you did.
That is the word. The front is funny. just to me. Like the fact that they actually have the very front of the smoke box kind of going around all of the various accoutrements at the front. It's comical, but it's also very unique, and I like it a lot. And
that was a leftover from the A1. And if you want, I'll give you a tour of this locomotive for a dime. You got a dime?
I got a dime.
A dime? I got a dime.
Now let's we'll start back here by the cab. Now, if you look down in between the axles on the trailing truck, you'll see this thing has a booster. Now, what that is that's a separate steam engine that runs on auxiliary steam that in the real world, you would reach up and turn it on, and it would help you get started. Now, full disclaimer, this engine is it's set up in the JSON file to have the tractive effort with the booster. It is not the 90,000 pound tractive effort or whatever it is without the booster. It's the 100 and something thousand pound tractive effort with the booster. To be honest, we looked at this drawing forever and couldn't figure out why they were piping water all the way around the locomotive, and then we went, oh wait, it's got a booster, so we put the booster in. Moving forward here, the side rods are kind of unique. I'm going to scoot the engine up a little bit. Can one of y'all take the handbrake off on the caboose for me? I see that it's on.
And while
the side rods,
huge thank you to Rex for gifting 10 memberships, and to Alex Beck, thank you for being a member for 5 months of the crew. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So if you look here on the side rods, you'll see that they're not tandem rods, but they're not one solid rod piece.
Yeah.
A lot of the later Lima steam and a lot of the later steam superpower. Thank you, Rex, for the memberships. I appreciate it, buddy. They had to step these rods out because these things had to have such big counterweights, and they linked the rods all together here at the main pin, and that was a free information and lore. We were sitting around having a beverage one evening, and we looked at the side rods, and we went, something don't quite look right. So we got Luna Marquette Creations to send us some pictures of the 1225, and we looked at that, and we looked at the one on the T1 and went, oh, it's got that kind of rod. So Kraken had to back up and remodel the whole running gear based off of that. But if you look up over your head, you'll see that cylinder up there. Now, this engine and a lot of the Lima power was actually equipped with a screw reverser. It's not a forward and back power reverser, but if you look, it works. The screw works, and it goes in and out and actually adjusts. That was a Kraken thing, and I'm really tickled with how that came out, to be honest. High up there on the smoke box, you'll see it's got the Lima Builders plate. It's got Kraken's RC Model 2 plate, because, folks, this is his second model. This is his second mod he's ever built, and if you compare that to the H6, H6 was good, but this is something else. And then, it's got the WNCR up there because this was a commission by me. Up front here, you got your air pumps. I will say that if you look at photos of the T1s, they varied a little bit in pilot arrangement and number board placement. Some had the flying number boards, some didn't, and that just kind of varied throughout their careers. I think some got taken off, some didn't. We just went with this because I like flying number boards and I like step boards, so that's what we went with. Bell's animated, neat, swings, does all that fun stuff. Yeah, and that's pretty much the outside of it. Now, come over here on the fireman's side. It's got a door. You can check out the end of the tender stoker. I know it's a little dark over here, but it's in here.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's a little neat. You'll notice it's got ash pan glow.
Yes.
We added that back in, I think, October. It was right around the time we were doing the Halloween video. We put that in there. We wanted to get it to where it would flash and synchronize with the chuffs, but it was a headache and a half, so we just didn't do that. You come on up here in the cab of this thing. You might want to turn your lantern on so you can see railroader lighting. It's got a front end throttle. Like I said, it's got the screw reverser on it. It's a little bare bones cab, but it didn't want to build too heavy a poly of a locomotive. It's got 3 sunroofs. Or whatever you want to call them. Lots of ventilation. I will say, and I know there will be people out there that go, that doesn't go there, this doesn't go there, whatever. there are only that we could find. There are only 2 photos of the cab of a T1 online, and they're all taken from back in the tender, and they're at like 360p, and they don't do a whole lot for you for detail work, but it works. It's serviceable. It's nice.
It does the
You open
job.
up fire. It certainly does. You open up that firebox door and you can look in there. We put the fire pot in there, put some coal in there, just to have a little bit of life and a little bit of flicker in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the cab controls are modeled. We even got a box of fusees, all that fun stuff. So, yeah, it's.
Where's the torpedoes? I want to prank somebody. Mm-hmm.
When Railroader gets torpedoes, I will be the first person to make an hour-and-a-half special on torpedoes and just talk about them because it's funny.
Oh boy.
Well, Angry, why don't you take it away there and let's get this show on the road.
Yes, I think we shall. And for those who are joining in on my chat, hello. It's good to see everyone here. Figured to let C-Sam do his thing. But if you are new to my channel, consider liking and subscribing. If you are not familiar with what WNCR is doing, they're doing some awesome stuff with mods and have a great community too. I do have a link to their channel in the description of the video, at least on YouTube. Twitch is always a weird beast, but yeah, go send them some love, and hopefully for any new people, consider hanging around here. But with that, we have a 41-car train of, oh my god, almost 5,000 tons.
Where's the Flanagan? Are we being caboose bitches? Wait, where's he at?
Caboose fools, please.
Oh yes.
No,
yes,
I'm gonna rail fan the chooch.
Okay.
Someone has to.
I just want to say this thing is a great example of American engineering, and I'll quote one of my favorite YouTubers, besides AngryRagtimer, of course, the Fat Electrician. It has 4 cab seats. This thing is a Freedom sedan. Oh.
Hey, Flanagan, can we call the engine that we're more familiar with a Freedom sedan or no?
Wait, what?
Wow, that went right over your head. Moving on. Alrighty.
No, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said, don't you think the engine that we know a little bit more as should be a Freedom sedan? It's
More
a
like
joke,
a
son.
Freedom compact car.
Yeah.
It's a Freedom compact car.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, this thing is like built like a tank. So
and I will freely admit that the version that we were using to test with had some incorrect numbers, so it's a little bit heavier now. But for all intents and purposes, this is a flatland engine in the mountains, and for all that, she's still just absolutely gorgeous. I can't get over it.
You know, I do like a lot of the modeling on the boiler itself. It looks really, really cool. Obviously, you've got your cool accoutrement like the dynamo, the safety valves in there. Again, I'm a narrow gauge guy, full and true. So big flatland engines like this, people are always asking me like, "Oh, what is your opinion on this Penske locomotive or this Wabash engine?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Ask me about narrow gauge." So like my stuff is usually not this chunk and big. Usually the engines I like are the chunk and big for narrow gauge. So, you know, your EBT Southern Mikados and your Rio Grande, you know, K36-7, that sort of thing. But this thing is impressive, you know. So it's very, very nice.
I'll give you a little bit more history if you want it.
Sure, go ahead.
The CNO, just to put it into context, folks, the only engine that ever displaced this thing in coal traffic was the CNO Allegheny. CNO built those engines to run in the mountains, and when they finally figured out this thing might run a little bit better on the flatlands of Ohio, we should go try it. That is the engine that eventually, besides the diesels, displaced the T-1. So this was truly the king of the rails in Ohio until it was displaced by something that just is a force of nature by itself. But it's a great locomotive. It runs great, and it'll be on Nexus here shortly. Yes,
we're very thankful to C-Sam and the WNCR team for letting us have a bit of an early look at this. This is definitely a fun treat and something a little bit different. And one thing I'm also going to note on here is the tender obviously is huge. You got 30 tons of coal and 24,000 gallons of water. So you're hauling for a bit, so you won't have to refuel anytime soon with this engine once it comes out. This will definitely get you quite a bit.
It is most definitely not a red marble locomotive. We wanted it specifically to work the east end of the railroad, and it does okay. It does pretty good.
What up, guy?
What's the difference between this T1 and an Alco? There's a lot of Alcos.
Which Alco?
Yeah, which Alco? You have to be a lot more specific on that. Did you already compare this thing to the F-71? So, obviously the Santa Fe is 210 too. I know this one has a bigger tender. I don't know the differences here, but
I can provide a little bit of light to that. So the F-71 is it's basically a USRA 210. There are some differences, but it's close enough. The T&P, Texas and Pacific, had a 210-4, and the comparison between that 210-4 and the 210-2 that it replaced, it moved freight over the road in Texas, mind you, like 20-30% faster, used 40% less fuel. It was a hell of a locomotive. And this thing, they increased the boiler by 10% and added like 1,000 more square feet of evaporative heating surface and like 1,500 more feet of superheating surface. This engine, compared to the I-1 on the Texas and Pacific, this engine is like a good 10-20% bigger. This thing compared to like the F-71 and Railroader, this is basically an F-71 with a K-35 duct taped to its face. It's a whole nother locomotive in the same frame. I mean, you look, we just went over the top of the hill at Gov Island with 4,700 tons total train weight and did not slow down.
It did not knock a bit. In fact, it gained some speed going up.
Yeah. Now, Angry, I'm never going to tell you how to run a train, but when we get down here to Whittier and you come around that right-hander, drag that reverser back up to about 25-30%, put the throttle on the roof, and we'll be doing about 50 by the time we get to the other end of the straightaway.
Excellent.
Just don't roll us off the bridge. Don't do that.
I'm in the caboose. Please don't put me in the drink. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're asking a lot right now, Rex.
I just realized I've asked Angry, who I've watched run a stream based on derailments, to run this thing. Oh, no.
Look, this is not a derailment stream. In fact, quick note for those watching, this stream here is a shorter one between both WNCR and Ragtimer. After the stream, we'll both have a little bit of a break, and then we'll be doing our own streams tonight. So WNCR around 7:30. I don't know when mine's going to start. But mine will probably be back on that ye old White Pass and Yukon lovey-dovey stuff. And, Rex has a surprise for me in that save, too. So,
yeah, we will be on the WNCRR. We'll be continuing our playthrough of the CNFW. It's a hardship playthrough save where the only locomotives we can buy are from LEGO's upcoming used equipment market mod. We finally got the Hooterville Cannonball number 3 ready to go. We played a little bit last night and got that done, so we will be Hooterville cannonballing all up and down the railroad. So don't miss it.
Yep.
Or catch it on video on demand and watch another stream. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you said Lego's coming out. Can you go into detail a little bit about that? Sounds cool.
Yeah, sure. So
no,
it's public knowledge. We've made like 5 episodes with it. So
okay.
the way that it works is actually, the used equipment market, the way that it's going to work is you install it with UMM. You have to have all of LEGO's dependencies, of course.
Okay.
And it will give you used equipment based on your spawn list. We've had a lot of fun with it because if you start from nothing with some money, you get like locomotives with a lower repair cap and a low condition, high mileage, and then you have to decide, okay, do I run it now? Do I repair it? And it not only does locomotives, it does anything from your spawn list. And it's dynamic, so if you install more mods, it'll automatically update for you. And every 12 hours, it gives you a new set of equipment to purchase. So it's just another one of those things that the running joke over on the WNC is we need to stop giving Lego mod ideas because he's overworked as it is. But
I might have to talk to him because I have some things in the works that I don't want to say out loud at the moment, but
of course.
it might work with that. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I've thought for a long time that we've needed a used equipment thing, kind of like Farm Sim has.
Right.
I really love being able to buy used stuff, and then I've got to make decisions like, oh, do I buy this used now? Do I not? And we've built our challenge save off of the whole principle of you can only buy what's used. You can't buy anything new. It's only used stuff. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a nice little break from running the WNCRR op server where it's like 20 people, 15, 20 people every night, and we've got 100-car coal drags and stuff like that going on. So it's been a nice little break, but we're going to get back to that soon too. So if you're interested, join the WNCRR Discord. Links somewhere. I don't know. I'm not too good at this whole plugging and selling thing, Angry. I need to take a page out of your book.
I just saw multiple characters like fly about 15 to 20 feet in the air, and it made me slightly concerned. But
probably me.
That would be a Flanagan thing. That would be a Flanagan thing.
I'm hanging out in the caboose, man. I'm enjoying the scenes of things that are in my mod folder. Because I left all my buildings and stuff in, so I'm just seeing all. Yeah, so I'm just seeing all these buildings go by, and I'm like, oh, you guys don't see that.
Has the T-1 come to breakfast in the middle of any of those buildings yet?
No. Yeah, because we're all on mainline, so as long as which we won't. As long as we don't go where I can see and you can't see, we'll be fine.
Okay, as long as we're good.
Yeah. No, it's actually peaceful back here. I will tell you, this is a nice, refreshing experience after clicking track mods all day.
Yeah, I never really got into the track modding myself. We have a couple of people over on the WNC side that do all that fun stuff, and they really like our Kirkland coal mine and things. It's neat. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to see what the community as a whole can come up with. But some of the stuff, it's just like, man, I was just thinking about putting that over there. I'm glad that went in. I need an iron mine. I need this. It's like a big model train set. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, Angry, what do you think of the big horse?
It is very, very impressive. It is a chonking locomotive that is hauling like it's never hauled before, and it is a very clean running engine. It looks great. Obviously, like I keep thinking about like last night's stream that we did, where we were trying to take something like 1,800 or 2,000 tons over the little hill by Coe with a K35, and this would have been a very, very much more helpful than the shenanigans that we got up to with that. So,
Yeah. Yes, big power always wins. When in doubt, channel your inner Clarkson and just speed and power. Right now, just leave it right there.
Yeah.
I'm
set and forget it in that way. It
fly.
can just do its thing. Yeah.
She'll fly. I promise. This for an engine that weighs 981,000 pounds. Jesus.
cheese and rice, as Flanagan would say.
Cheese and rice. Cheese and rice. Alright.
Somebody asked in my chat how the Allegheny was born. The Allegheny was born from smoke and fire at the dawn of the universe and is nothing but a force of nature, and I don't know how else to put it. That was just an absolutely absurd locomotive. Just absolutely absurd. That's probably the only engine that could ever challenge the big boy or a Y6 or anything like that for, supremacy, because it just 7,000 some odd horsepower to drawbar. Yeah, I'm good. I don't even want to know. In the game of F around and find out, that's not one I intend to play with.
The more you go up on F, the more you come down on F.
That's absolutely right.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, look, a truck.
Ounce.
God, as we're going through East Whittier here, all I can think of is the base game map is just so naked.
I say that every time I start fresh. I'm like,
yeah. So for those who have been watching any of the streams on our little server here, Rex has been cooking up all sorts of mods left and right, track-wise, building stuff. So normally behind us here there'd be a big repair shop. This is White Pass and Yukon on it. Very large sorting yard at East Whittier. Added a paper mill, like for pulpwood here at Whittier. And some other goodies, a few additional track mods, and some stuff to come around, too. And I think there may be a chance that in the next 24 hours, depending on what Rex and I talk about after this stream, that the new Ragtimer mod pack may drop imminently.
Hey.
So
I can't wait to play with that. I do play with y'all's mod pack occasionally.
You'll probably, I know you probably seen some glimpses, but the new TV is probably going to be a fan favorite.
yes, I've seen previews of that. It looks awesome.
We are definitely going in track that I modified.
All right, now C-Sam is correct. You get out of Whittier, and now we are flying at 50 miles an hour.
Level track.
Yeah, and again, it's not the best thing in the world on the steepest hills, but on the east end of the map where this thing actually has room to stretch her legs, she will just fly.
I mean, but that's like, part of anybody's railroad, right? They do what they want with it, and if this is what this is designed for, then they do, this.
Yeah, it's still accelerating.
Oh gosh, yes. And Celestial Caboose, thank you for the $2. Somebody tell the WNCRR guy about the EL2B. What is that in reference to?
Let's not
and say we did.
Let's not.
Is it bad? I kind of want to know now. You're giggling, so I gotta know. If you want, so you don't have to. Is it like?
It's a big electric that the Virginian had that looks like every Art Deco 1940s goofball cartoon in a locomotive, but they were painted like black and yellow, and they looked really nice. But don't worry, we got hostilities on. You ain't gonna wreck.
Oh, good, thank God.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna. I never turn that off for streams because I don't want things broken.
What? I've never seen that appear on my screen before. That was weird. Okay.
Is Rex seeing ghosts again?
Yes. My screen just said "back you go," and I've never seen that. Like it was like almost like the AI or like the game's engine detected I was like stuck, and it was just like "back you go," and I'm like, what?
I'm pretty sure that's like if you were to crash, they have like all those funny messages put in.
And maybe that was like definitely weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. And Bandit, member for 10 months, says, but do they know about the Weyerhaeuser logging 2882s?
Yes, we know. And no, I don't want to look at another articulated engine for a while. I've been looking at one for the last 3 weeks, and it's incredible. But
I'm flying.
Oh.
I'm flying. I am actively flying. I'm sorry to interrupt. Oh my gosh.
See, this is what having Rex Cam would be comical, but
yes, absolutely.
I was just flying across the map. That was nuts.
yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
See, you're talking about that, and I may or may not be multitasking over here. Where your boy might be going to Cass tomorrow afternoon.
Hey, all right.
So
That's a great place.
I'm
to
gonna
be.
get my Shay fix in. The first time I'll have ridden behind a Shay, technically since 2019, because 2019 I rode the Roaring Camp at Big Trees narrow gauge. But I need some Shay in my life, and for those who watch my streams, there are two things I obsess over to an unhealthy amount. The first is Rio Grande and White Pass narrow gauge, and that has been for both obvious reasons with streams and the upcoming Garden Railroad build, which if you want to watch videos on how someone builds a Garden Railroad, I will be filming those in the nearish future. So again, consider subscribing so you can check a look at that. But then also logging. I've done multiple streams and videos about crazy logging setups and just running logs in pulp mill. And one day I hope that a working Shay does get in the game. I've seen little clips of people testing the animations and stuff. So maybe one day, and I'm not talking about that model that's on Nexus mods that's just interesting. But
you know that was actually a Minecraft model.
I think someone said that.
Doesn't shock me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he, in fairness, he did get it to be animated and work. So.
Yes, he did. I'm in the camp of give us more cylinder inputs, and you will see a parade of 3-cylindered engines and goofy articulateds.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So one day Shay in game, but for Ragtimer, Shay may be happening in real life within 48 hours, and
Cool.
very excited about that. So I'll post some videos of that if I'm able. How stable is this mod? Asked Nova Raptor. We've had 0 problems with it, so it looks to be very stable, good run-in. Not seeing any issues with the animation or any different things in here. All the all the textures seem to be pretty good, so all stable and good over here. So when you have the ability to download this, you should have a good working engine.
Yes. That will be shortly.
Yes.
Don't know when. Sometime this week. Keep your eyes peeled.
Indeed. Is this the used equipment mod out? No, the used equipment mod is still in beta testing. Check in with WNCR for their stream to see more of that.
Yeah.
Man, this thing is just flying
Open it
through
up.
here.
It's
Open it up.
Open it up.
Give it everything it's got.
Give it
Yeah,
the
just
beans.
put it on the roof. Free tip for anybody that does inevitably download this thing. When you come through Barker's going this way, when you get to right here, you'd better be doing about 30, 35, if not 40. Speed limits be damned. Run it. Just send it. And it will make it. Have faith.
Yep, and Nova Raptor following up. Good to know. How low is this baby running service? Very good. Look how many loaded hoppers we got behind us. We're about to go up a nice gradient, so this will do exactly what you want it to, and more.
I figured out you can get stuck in a hopper car.
Angry, how well do you think this worked with the UP auxiliary tender mod? Why would you need to? This has so much fuel capacity. But I guess it would.
I guess it would. We never tested it with that. I honestly, I never thought anybody would need more water than 22,500 gallon of water.
Yeah. Why? Yeah.
But I mean, hey, your railroad, you want to hook it up? I'm sure it'll work just fine. It works with the vanilla engine, so I don't know why it wouldn't work with this one.
Yeah, it
Yep.
should work with it.
Yeah, this thing is just a beast. It is really impressive. It is really impressive.
Yes.
It's choo-chin.
Yeah,
The
and
choo-choo is
all,
indeed choo-chin.
yeah, all credit for this really goes to Kraken because he took notes after the H6 and really stepped up his game, and this is what happens when you make the decision to get good.
So what you're saying is you let him cook.
Oh, I'm not gonna say that he didn't cook, but this boy ought to be on Iron Chef at this point.
Hey, yo! Oh, oh no, a tunnel.
The tunnel? What's wrong with the tunnel?
I'm standing on a coal hopper. I don't want my head chopped off.
You'll be alright. You'll be alright.
Yeah, this is not a Polar Express flat top tunnel situation, sir. Just
Oh,
roll in the coal a little bit.
Cleared under there with 1 inch.
I'm actually standing. It didn't fling me, so this is good.
This thing is almost too big for the tunnel. In fact, I think it scrapes the wall at one point, but whatever.
Yeah.
Who needs paint?
Paint is only a cosmetic.
That's right.
Yeah, the overhang on this off to the side, just kind of looking over as it trots down the track. It's big. It's a big locomotive. It does the thing.
I will add, it will not fit on the turntable. Don't try it. It just won't do it.
Can you do the? I don't know if they ever patched the turntable bug.
I don't know, but we can find out. We can find out.
You know which one I'm talking about? The one where you
Yeah,
can put,
no.
So the way that people did early tender swaps is they figured out that you could put a locomotive on the turntable, and if you stopped it at the right point, you could actually spin the steam engine, and the tender will stay. And that's how you could disconnect a tender from a locomotive.
Yeah.
So in theory, if it still works, you could do it again, spawn another T1, and then have 2 T1 tenders.
I know what's going to happen when this thing releases. I'm going to wake up and my inbox is just going to be full of I put this tender with this engine and now it looks goofy. It's like, yeah, you put a G16 tender behind a Texas. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
I think my scenery assets are still in here. No, they're not. Okay, cool. All right.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, we're good. We're good.
What do you have edited down here?
We put CLB's workshop down here. I'm the idiot that got CLB to put that machine shop in that he put in.
Oh,
I sent him drawings for a shop, and I said I want a shop. And when he built it, it was too big for Bryson, and I was just like, dang it, we got to put it somewhere. So we stuck it in Dillsboro, and it worked out really good for the CNFW save because that's it's in the right place there. Also, if you're going to have stuff worked on in a shop, I didn't want it in an area that had a bunch of really heavy traffic. Because Dillsboro is only busy on the WNC in the mornings, so it's like, put it in Bryson, and that plus West Bryson and all the cars for it, and all the power, not going to jive well. Not going to jive well. But we stuck it there, and we edited, we made our run-through tracks, or the service tracks next to the roundhouse, like full length, so you could pull power out and then just back onto trains in the yard. We made the yard 500 feet longer so we could handle more trains. Yeah, we did a lot of, well, I should say we. Stryker, Chewy, and the rest of the WNC track team listened to me complain for 6 weeks and then did it, and now it looks good. So, yeah. I can't see your chat, Angry, so are there any questions in your chat? Because I got a few in mine, and I want to make sure that I don't
They're all
miss
talking
anybody.
about right now, like, if you could have any locomotive modded in a railroader, what would it be? K36 or a Shay? Next question for me.
I want an
Over
actual
this.
White Pass and Yukon 70 Class 282 Mikado. That's what I want.
You are after my heart.
I want 71 so that for once, since the end of the Steam era, there might be a vision of what that engine looked like running, because I grew up going there and knowing some of the guys in the shop and on the train crew, going back and seeing 71 in like 8 million pieces and what was left of 72 was just like, Man, I wish theme park management would just, go ahead and get this one running, but they didn't. And I'm sad.
I for a while have thought about like moving to Alaska and working as a brakeman on the White Pass for a season, just both to say I did, and then also because it's the freaking White Pass, beautiful route, unique experience. Who wouldn't want to work in Alaska on that for a while? So,
yeah. I definitely think that the White Pass in Yukon had some of the best looking narrow gauge power. Like, not to say anything bad about the DNRGW or anything. Like, I like Eureka and Palisade number 4 because I like goofy stuff from that period that's just way too decorative for a steam locomotive should be. But according to whatever. But I really like the White Pass stuff. I like the 190 class mics. Obviously, I'd like to see White Pass get 195 running. I know they don't own it, but that'd be kind of cool. But
Yep. At least you can get your fill of that at either Tweetsy or Dollywood.
Absolutely, and especially those places have picked up some quality people in the last couple of years, and 70's no longer yellow all over, so that looks good. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
We
Sorry, my
are
talk.
rolling these hopper cars through the curves. It's nice.
Oh yeah. Didn't even slow down.
Big power, don't give a hoot.
No, big
Give a
power, don't
whistle?
care.
I was gonna go with whistle, but that works too.
Okay, so to answer some questions from my chat that I think probably popped up everywhere else, this engine will be available on Nexus Mods sometime in the next week. Might be sooner. Don't know. It'll be on Nexus. It shouldn't be hard to find. There'll be links to it in the WNCRR Discord, links wherever.
We'll also post about it in my Discord.
Yes, please do. It's a good engine. It runs great. It's fantastic. It's the guy's second model, so go out, shake his hand, vote for him if he runs for office, whatever. It's good. I can't wait to see what the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh look like because plans. But it has lubricator animation. It's there. It's not it's not like the S100, but it works.
No, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna check my chat because it's just been absolutely going bananas. Yeah. Well, I don't actually see any questions related to the thing. It's mostly just, can we build this engine? Which, if you learn Blender, you can build whatever you want.
Yes, and one thing that I've been very vocal about is be thankful for the things that have been made, because a lot of these guys, when they're making the locomotives, obviously some of them are commissions, some of them are just made because the person wants to model it. So don't be a greedy bitch and, immediately demand for more, because unfortunately the railroad world is kind of plagued with the, hey, we just rebuilt the thing. Great, why aren't you doing this one? Be thankful for what you have, people. This is a great game, and you have great people doing great stuff for it. So,
Absolutely.
appreciate what you got, and we're very appreciative of the stuff that RC Rockin' and many others have contributed to Railroader. So.
Oh, absolutely. And
Soapbox.
I'll get up on mine for just a second. I know I haven't shut up this whole stream, but I want to say on a note, because this is probably the last time that I'm really going to feature the T1 on the channel until the updates come, where we add the Pierre Marquette looking version, etc. This project started as I need a bigger engine, and I have never fallen down a rabbit hole over a locomotive before. And the more that I read about the history on these locomotives, and the more that I read, like, exactly what the story was, I just became fascinated by them. Like, so much to the point I'm trying to find another BLI model because I can't have just one now. They're great. They're a little big for most people's railroads, but it's $50,000 in the in-game store. If you can swing one and you got the tonnage, this right here is your choice. Just pick it because it'll do things that you don't think it'll do. It'll surprise you, and it's just absolutely wonderful, genuinely. So, I'm off my soapbox.
Yep. So again, check it out. It'll be on Nexus, as CSAM says, in the next week or so. So keep an eye out for that. We'll keep an eye out here as well, and we'll make sure to share the word. But I guess for now, thank you to CSAM for sharing this. Let us take a look.
Thanks,
we're going to take a break for a
Freak.
little. My words. I've been sipping on a White Claw too while we've been doing this, so I've been violating Rule G the entire time.
I've been deep violating Rule G the entire time, so it's okay.
Yeah. But keep an eye out for that. We will be streaming different stuff later on tonight. So obviously WNCR has their CNFW series. We'll probably do some more Railroader on the White Pass. So make sure to subscribe to both of our channels to see all the activities that are going on. And I think with that we will. Unless there's anything else, we'll see y'all next time.
Before we go, does chat on either side have any questions for CSAM? He's unrestricted right now before he gets into his own stream. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask real quick.
The first one of you that asks where's the big boy will be thrown off a cliff. Because,
Nobody?
We don't need it.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
I want to. In all honesty, I'm not a big steam engine person, as we know. But a Z6 Challenger, when?
Well, honestly, I like the Z6s, and we've got a guy that right now I'm gonna free plug him because I know he's watching. If you have Google open, go look up the Great Northern M2. It's a 2680, and Ellenwin has been making very, very steady progress on that locomotive. And while it'll probably wait on native articulated support, it's definitely it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
You could say it's quite the chooch.
It is. It's quite the goat. That's what it is. It's the goat. But anyway, yeah. In testing, what is the highest number of cars this was able to pull, just to showcase the powerhouse of this engine? So free warning: the numbers we had at the end of the WNC video were a little wrong. We had some numbers wrong on the engine, so we changed them prior to release. But we moved 100 coal cars with 2 of these things up over the top of Cowie at 30, something like that. And that was a 10,000-ton train. This is the kind of engine that you put something behind it, you put your feet up, you put the throttle on the roof, and you just don't care anymore, because this is what it does. As long as you keep moving, it will keep moving the tonnage.
Tonnage first, safety last?
Oh, no. Tonnage always. Always.
Hey.
So,
Alrighty.
Yeah, well, I'll wrap this up. Angry, thanks for having us on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing this. Also, if you have any FN3 at your home, contact me because I have no self-control. Anyways, with that,
Yes.
we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.